On May 24th, 1919, Emma McCullers, a widow, was at home with her two daughters. They lived in the black section of Milan. It was a normal, quiet night. At around 1 a.m., they were in their beds asleep when all of a sudden they heard banging at their front door. 25-year-old John Dowdy and his friend Levi Evans were outside demanding to be let in. We can only assume what they wanted. Now, this was a widow with two young daughters. These men were not there just to say hello. John Dowdy was not just anybody. He came from a prominent family and was the son of Reverend William H. Dowdy and Caroline Dowdy. His father was not only a minister, but also the mayor of Milan. John had no business in the black section of Milan at 1 o'clock in the morning, but it didn't matter. His father was the mayor and he could do what he wanted, where he wanted. As John and Levi banged on the door, Emma and her two daughters tried to keep quiet, hoping the men would go away. But that didn't work. The men continued to bang on the door to try to take it down. Emma and her daughters refused to open it. That's when John Dowdy took out his weapon and fired through the door. The round he fired tore through the McCullers' home. The frightened two girls quickly ran out of the house to try to get away from these two men. The girls ran to their neighbor, Emma Tischler's home. She was an older woman and also a widow. Emma heard what was going on as she let the two girls in. The girls hid under her floor. John and Levi chased after the girls and followed them to Emma Tischler's home. They were still determined to get them. The girls hoped that the men would not find them hiding under the floor, but John and Levi quickly discovered them. They began ripping up the floor, trying to get to the two girls. Emma became so frightened that she ran out of her own home and jumped into a well just to get away from the two white men. All of the noise and commotion alerted Barry Washington, who lived close by. He heard the women and the girls screaming and pleading for help. He quickly grabbed his long weapon and ran out of his home to see what was going on. When he got to Emma Tischler's home, he was confronted by John and Levi. John asked Barry why he came out of his home. Barry told him that he was seeing what was going on with the women and the children. John told Barry that he would take his life if he did not go back home. He then fired at Barry, but John missed. Barry then took his weapon and fired at John in self-defense. But unlike John, Barry did not miss. John died right there. Levi Evans fled the area after that. Everyone was safe, but this was only the beginning of the trouble that was about to come.